This time, fixing more fuel leaks. So if you've been following along on my Suburban rebuild, you probably know that a couple of months ago I did replace the entire fuel system, all new fuel lines, tank, pump, everything. And for the fuel lines, I ended up using a nylon set off of eBay. Well, I noticed a little bit of a gas smell again here recently. I stuck my head up under there the other day, and I noticed that I had another fuel leak. So what I found was the compression fitting union, this little brass guy right here, for the return line was weeping fuel out of it. So I took this apart and tried to fix it, tried to tighten it, figure out what was wrong, and these compression sleeves that are in here, I apparently had beat up when I put this in originally. So no matter what I did, it continued to leak. And since I didn't have any luck at the hardware store finding another fitting, I went ahead and ordered a complete new set of fuel lines again. And then the new one came with the same style brass compression fitting. I guess it's slightly different, but same kind of union here. So in addition to the brass union that was leaking, the other thing that I screwed up when I put this set of lines on the first time was I zip tied the lines too tightly to one of the brackets. So you can't see it here on camera really, but this supply line also was rubbing, chafing on a bracket and kind of wore down a little spot where it was also weeping fuel. So supply and return lines were both leaking. So I went ahead and ordered a new kit. So with the new kit, I installed the new fitting on the return line, and of course I over tightened this one as well, and it was leaking like a sieve. It was actually leaking worse than the original one was. So in the short term, I ended up using a little piece of rubber fuel line, kind of like this, just to marry the two ends of the return line together. But I'm not happy with that. I'm afraid that it's not going to hold long term if it pops off there while I'm driving. So I've got another solution here. I ran across these. So I got these off of Amazon. I'll throw a link down in the description there if you're interested. And what these are push connectors. So if you've ever done any plumbing, these are very similar to like a shark bite connector. I've also got these on the reverse osmosis unit in my kitchen, and any kind of that small nylon plumbing, if you've done that before, you're probably familiar with these kind of connectors, ice maker lines, that kind of stuff. But this one I found is actually rated for fuel. So what I'm going to do is get back under there, pull off the piece of rubber line that I have in between the two halves of the nylon return line, and then install this little guy. And then hopefully that will mean no more leaks. And I also am going to 3D print some clips here because these have releases. The little blue part here, if you push down on that, releases it and you can slide it back off the tubings. So I'm going to 3D print the clips to go in here behind that release and keep that locked. I'm also going to go ahead and keep the extras in the car because if I'm ever out on the road somewhere and this fuel line springs a small leak somewhere, I can just cut the nylon line, if it's one little pinhole, cut it out and then stick another union in there and fix another leak in the future if I have to. So that's an easy thing that could be done on the side of the road somewhere. So for a few bucks, these are probably great things to keep in the glove box. But anyway, let's go grab the clips for this and then throw it on the car. And up there is the quick and dirty fix I did before with the piece of rubber hose. So just need to pull that out and then put this new union in. In there. So there you go. I just need to put the other green locking clip on the other side there, but the union is in, and I believe it is not leaking anymore. So time will tell, but I think that looks like a much better connection than that brass union, and of course than the rubber hose that I just took out of there. So check back in a couple days and see how it looks. You know, before I completely move on, maybe I should test it just to make sure. Yep, looks good. Okay, well, it's been a couple of days now. Let's see. Well, it looks pretty good. I don't see any leaks there. That shine you're seeing is some undercutting that I've been spraying, so job done, and that's a nice little piece. If I ever do another set of these, I will definitely use this style connector to start with. Alright, well, I think that's going to do it for this one. Make sure you click that thumbs up and like this video if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave me a comment down below if you've got something to add, and I will see you next week.